Freedom is not something that one people can bestow on another as a gift. They claim it by birthright and win it for themselves by their own struggle. You know, we in the West were promised freedom. Not just the legal kind, like voting, freedom of speech, but something deeper, existential freedom. The freedom to become. But if you look around, doesn't it feel like the space to act meaningfully is just shrinking? We're told that we're free because we can scroll endlessly. So many options. Choose from a million things. Amazon Prime, Netflix, Disney Plus. It's a free country. Consume, transition, subscribe. It's not liberty. It's essentially, it's a menu in a prison cafeteria. Ernst Jünger said, "The world wants to be deceived." And Goethe, that there are none that are more hopelessly enslaved than those who falsely believe that they are free. I think that's what we've got. And, you know, I'm not above it. I'm myself included, man. I mean, I'm speaking from the heart. This is not a us versus them, man. This is universal. It's a kind of freedom that flatters the self, but never forms it. Where freedom once used to mean strength, self-mastery, like a moral direction, now it mostly just means the right to stay unformed. Again, just choose, be whatever you want to be. No urging in any one direction. Whatever you've chosen, that's what we'll accept, right? We'll tolerate it, accept it, embrace it, celebrate it, pride for whatever you've got. Soft. Just a massive appetite for consumption, unburdened by anything higher than the self. What else is there? You know, the communist rallying cry, no gods, no masters. You yourself become the god. If we're lucky, you'll only be your own master. You know, in the push for this cult of self, it's essentially like we've destroyed the common altar and in its place just put up a mirror. Now we just kneel before our reflections, right? And then wonder why would one feel so alone? This new idea of freedom, it's killed cohesion, dissolves the things that bind us together as a people, as a family or a nation. It just kills those, kills ritual, kills purpose. It teaches young people that sacrifice is just another word for slavery. Obligation is a tyranny. Tradition is oppression. The only God worth serving is yourself. Who else is there? But the truth is, a people who won't sacrifice won't survive. We're no longer sovereign individuals anymore. We're just disconnected nodes in a managed grid, monitored, medicated, market tested. And here's the irony though, the more we worship autonomy, the less we actually have any of it. You can change your gender, but not your social credit score. You can curate your identity. You're not escaping the algorithm. Not completely. You can post, protest, pontificate, as I'm doing, but you can't unplug. Tried that. This isn't freedom. It's freedom-shaped control. It's a simulation of agency that's built on layers and layers of dependency. And the delusion, particularly in America, is this idea of the auteur, the self-made man, you know, the cowboy, Lone Ranger, the kind of Tony Stark, that kind of archetype. is just taken for granted that that's the ideal. Again, maybe I'm inflating that. Like, again, it's obviously not for everybody, but yeah, it is. I mean, it's vastly resonant. So where does that leave us? Like, honestly, we are like children among ruins, handed a Burger King crown and told that it's a kingdom. Go ahead, you're free. But real freedom, actual freedom, wears a crown of thorns. It asks for things. It requires things. Limits, discipline, constraint, belonging, and the power to enforce all of those things. Evola once wrote, "To be free means to be capable of sacrifice." And Themistocles once wrote, "The strong do what they can, and the weak suffer what they must." And what we've been made to suffer is this shallow, Xeroxed, Temu version of freedom. Wasn't always like this. Like, again, you look at older social orders in ancient times. The soldier, the monk, the farmer, they all lived within a sacred order. They accepted limits because that's what gave their actions meaning. It allowed them to excel in something where they played a vital role on the dream team of a society. And now, there is no sacred order. It's entirely been dismantled. If anything, there's technophiles, bureaucrats, and merchants. Essentially, perhaps, are just the orders that we have. Am I missing one? Let me know in the comments. But there's no sanctity or sacredness to the order. We're just interchangeable neoliberal tokens, severed from history, void of any structure in which we can reliably excel. Just an infinite scroll to work ourselves through. And in that abyss, the soul decays. Because freedom without form, with those limits and rails on which to propel it, just exhausts you. And freedom without truth, obviously, is just a performance. It's an act. So maybe the question isn't, are you free, right? Or to live free. Maybe the real question is, what are you willing to bind yourself to? Where does the sacrifice come in? Sacrifice what to be free to do what? Because only when we bind ourselves to something higher, to love, agape love, to order, to tradition, to the eternal, do we become more than just consumers. We become men. We become finally capable of freedom, or at least wresting it from the chaos and degeneracy that has become the new normal and highest ideal of a society that is rapidly eating itself alive. But other than that, I don't really have much to say other than we will see you in the circle.